All right, how amazing is that? And if you're a dog owner out there, you really appreciate it, as I am, and I do. Just thought I'd, start the hour a little differently in this particular hour. And now we are proud to welcome in once again to the Steve Malzberg Show, Ed Rollins, senior political analyst for Fox News and national campaign director for the Ronald Reagan, George Bush 84 presidential campaign. Ed, always good to talk to you, sir.
Steve, how are you this evening?
Good, good. I have a soundbite I wanted to come in with. My bad here, as they say now, instead of my fault. Nobody says my fault anymore. They say my bad. But here, I want you to hear this, so let's give a listen.
This is a shrinking map for Democrats. They have this bad political environment that we saw down in that special election in Florida last month. They're seeing some of their most vulnerable candidates already being blitzed by these Koch brothers ads.
Yeah.
And so Democrats are saying, we need to cut our losses. We need to start on members who might lose and not so much on members who have a chance. So this triage means that if you're an endangered incumbent, you're now more likely to get help from the National Party in D.C.
All right, well, that's Mike Allen of Politico, Ed. What do you make of that? What is the strategy as from a financial standpoint, do you think, for candidates in the 2012 election on the Democrat side?
Well, the key to our winning, Republicans winning a majority, is going to be in the we have to beat 3 or 4 incumbents. I think there's a couple open seats we're pretty sure of winning, South Dakota being probably first and foremost. Then Pryor in Arkansas, Landrieu in Louisiana. Basically, there's 1 or 2 others that are vulnerable. So in order to get 6, you've got to take a couple incumbents out and win the open seats. My sense is if the election were today, we'd be very close to doing that. Long ways to go, and my sense is obviously Democrats don't want that. They can read polls as well as we can, and they know they've got some people in trouble, so they're shifting money around. I think at the end of the day here, they will claim victory if we only pick up 4 seats. I claim victory if we hold the House, which we will, and pick up 3 or 4 seats, and would love to get the majority, which I think we have a good shot at.
What about the strategy of the Keystone Pipeline, which, of course, on Friday the administration announced, the decision, can't make it yet because there's so much more studying to do. I've heard 2 schools of thought here. One school of thought is that, he's given red meat not only to the left base to come out in motivation, but also he's giving candidates who might be in trouble in Alaska and in Arkansas to say, Louisiana, to say, hey, look, this is bad. I'm against Obama here. Look at me. I'm speaking out against the president. But on the other hand, the other school of thought is, well, if you're a Democrat and you're representing us for so long and you can't even get this done with a president from your own party, what good are you? So where do you think it falls there?
Well, I think it falls down to where the president's trying to protect his environmental base just for his own prosperity. It certainly doesn't benefit anybody at this point in time. It's in this very slow, sluggish economy. It's sure jobs. As we get more and more towards a policy of being energy independent, particularly with what's going on in Ukraine, you'd think you'd want to do everything you could to basically energize the energy department. And so my sense is Mary Landau is the one who suffers the most. She's the vice chairman, ranking Democrat on the Energy Commission, and if she can't produce or convince the White House that this policy that basically has already passed the State Department test of whether it's environmentally sound is now being stalled, certainly beyond the election, is certainly a liability for her. I think the president is midterms are not often referendums on presidents, but certainly this particular case, it's going to be a referendum on his energy policy, on Obamacare, on the fact that he's not energizing Democrats in any way, shape, or form. So I think it's a short-term thing, benefits him maybe among his environmental constituency, does not benefit the Democratic Party in this election cycle.
Are you seeing, sir, what you expect from the Democrats? Debbie Wasserman Schultz on there, and Nancy Pelosi, and so many of the so-called leaders of the party, and the president himself. Obamacare, it's great, and and turning it into a demagogic issue where why do the Republicans want to take away your health care, and why don't they want sick kids to get well, and that kind of thing, combined with the equal pay issue and the war on women issue, and The race issue now, Eric Holder, no president and attorney general have ever been treated like us. Is this what you would expect when they, as you mentioned, have to defend all those losing propositions?
I don't think they have anything else. At the end of the day, this is an administration that has basically lied to the American public over and over again. This is the president who has basically taken on new policies, or new authority. The laws of the land are written by the Congress. It's the president's job and the attorney general's job to implement those. This president is deciding any laws he doesn't like, rather than go back to the Congress and get them changed. He's going to change it by executive order, or basically say, I'm not going to basically implement that particular portion of it. It's totally illegal. Sooner or later, I hope the courts slap him down. I'm never surprised by the Democrat rhetoric. At the end of the day, this whole drill of everything's great now because we signed up 8 million people, even though a portion of them have not paid for insurance. The critical question is not how many people you sign up. They've proven very effectively at digging out their voters and their constituents. But is there going to be a health care for these people? You may have coverage, but can you get a doctor? Can you get basically adequate health coverage? And you have expanded the base of this of these kinds of programs extensively. And my great worry is the cost. And are you really going to get health care? And those people who did have good health care under the old system, where they had health insurance or what have you, that has now been eliminated. It's not a no-sum game. It's at the end of the day here, the vast majority of Americans are not going to benefit. They're going to pay more and they're going to get less.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Let's turn our attention just for the few remaining moments to the 2016 election and where we might find ourselves. A couple of things. First of all, I tuned into MSNBC this morning, and they were talking about, or maybe it was the other day, and they were talking about Jeb Bush and his money problem, because he's looking to make money, and he's got this company, and he's worried about, and I think it was Scarborough said, well, what's wrong with making money? Where do you think Jeb Bush fits in? Do you think he'll run? Do you think he hurt himself with that act of passion statement with regard to illegal immigrants who want to help their family?
First of all, the story was in the New York Times today, so it was probably put on NBC based on that story.
Right.
The story was sort of a look at what he's done and some of the more controversial. It's not a sin to make money. Democrats may think so, and if you do make money, they want to take it away from you and give it to somebody else. But at the end of the day, Jeb Bush gave much of his life to public service. As he got out of office, he didn't take his pension deliberately. There were many years he could have made a lot of money by not being governor, but he chose to be governor. He was Secretary of Commerce before that in the state. He's given a lot back. So the fact that he has contacts and go out and make money is not any different than the Clintons or anybody else that have done it in the past. I think that Jeb basically chooses to run. He's going to be a very credible, viable candidate. He's a great campaigner. He puts Florida very much in play for us, which is a key state for us. And my sense is that he can win Florida. Nobody else that's running at this point in time can guarantee that they can win Florida. If Rubio runs, obviously he'd be a very strong candidate there. But so I think he can do two things. One is he can put a national organization together very quickly, which is not easy. Two, he can raise an enormous sum of money from the donor base that the Bushes have had over 20, 30 years. And he's a very credible campaigner, and I think he gets stronger as time goes on. Getting through the Republican primary is not a slam dunk. There's some very credible other candidates that are out there, and my sense is we're going to have a big race, and the man or woman who wins it is going to be a very credible candidate.
And on the other side, very quickly, Hillary.
Hillary or nobody. At the end of the day, give me Joe Biden. I will beat him like a drum. Give me any of the other, people that are talking about it. Hillary will be a very formidable candidate. She will not get a walk. She'll have to basically win the nomination. But my sense is she'll energize the women voters. She'll energize a lot of the Democratic base that Obama energized, and she'll be a tough candidate in the fall. But my sense is I don't control that, and we'll have a good candidate who'll go out and run a better campaign than we've run the last couple of times.
All right, Ed Rollins. Thank you so much, sir. Always great to talk to you. Take care.
Anytime. Thank you very much.
Ed Rollins, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting. I like that. Hillary or nobody. We'd beat Joe Biden like a drum. Just for everybody on the left out there, he means it figuratively, not literally. You've got to say that these days because you never know. Anyway, very interesting. And guess who's next, folks? Guess what's next? That's right. You know it, you love it. It's the Malzberg panel, backed by popular demand. Not one, but two, count them, two segments of the Malzberg panel. We'll be joined by our friend Peter Marisi, of course, Newsmax contributor and professor at the University of Maryland and economist. And Seton Motley will also be here, founder of Less Government. So don't go away. We're coming back on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.
We don't just talk about the news, we talk to those making news. This is the Steve Malzberg Show. What you